Today, let's review measurement. So remember some of our vocabulary. Remember that perimeter is the distance around the outside edge of a shape, not through, outside edge. So you generally can think of that, at least I usually think of it as, I'm gonna, start here, and I'm gonna walk, and then I'm gonna walk, and then I'm gonna walk, and then, oh look, I ended up where I started. So I add those all up, and that's my perimeter. The area is the amount of space inside the shape. So it's the whole inside. So it's that everything inside the area. And we've got different formulas depending on the shape. Okay. Volume, remember, is the amount of it's the measure of space taken up by a solid object. So it's everything that goes inside the whole three-dimensional shape. Okay, so perimeter goes around the outside. Area is our two-dimensional. So that means when I have units, it's like meters squared or centimeters squared or inches squared. When I have volume, that's cubed. So that's like meters cubed, inches cubed. Okay, so we say cubed. And that's why we have it. We also call this our 3D. It's three-dimensional, length times width times height, or whatever the shape is. Okay. We are also going to be looking at things like surface area. So surface area is the outside of the shape. And that's of three-dimensional objects. So maybe we've got a box. So a rectangular prism. That's what that looks like. Maybe we've got the circles and it's called the lateral area. So this would be our cylinder, right? Because a cylinder has a top and a bottom and what wraps around the side. No, I'm not an artist, sorry. Okay. Today we're going to focus on calculating perimeter and area for our shapes. So we have, and you've got this posted with you, our formula sheet for our grade 9 math. So the front page has all two-dimensional objects. So perimeter and area, that's what we're going to look at today. In another day, we're going to look more at surface area and volume of three-dimensional shapes. Okay, so you do have your formula sheet. So let's think. We want to figure out a perimeter and our area for this shape here. So perimeter takes us all around the outside. So we start in one corner. Let's start here. And then we're going to add them up. So we're going to add the 2.1 plus the 2.5 plus the 3.5. And that's going to give us our perimeter. Oops, wrong one. So our perimeter is going to equal, we said we're going to start here. So 2.1, 2.5, add them up, plus 3.5. Now there's another number on my picture, but do I include it? No, I do not, because that is not on the outside. So what does this give us? 3, 5, 6, 7, 8.1. And then we look at our units, meters. Now this number on the inside is going to help me when I go to calculate my area. So we know the area of a triangle. Let's find it. There it is. This is what our formula sheet tells us. It's BH over 2, or 1/2 BH. So what is BH? B is our base, H is our height. So our area is going to be equal to our base times our height divided by 2, which is our BH over 2. So our base is our 3.5. And we're going to multiply that by our height, which is 1.5. And all that's going to be divided by 2. So let's see, 3.5 times 1.5 divided by 2 gives us 2.625. 2.625 meters squared. So there's our area. Okay, let's try another shape. Ooh, this is a cog. Boy, what is that? Let's think here. Well, you can split it up in a couple of different ways here. So we can think of it as one big rectangle here, and then two smaller ones there. We can think of it as maybe one giant rectangle with this rectangle cut out of it. So we've got a couple of ways we could look at it. Oh, we could also look at it as a rectangle here and a rectangle here and a rectangle there. So 1, 2, 3 rectangles again. So there's a couple ways we can look at this shape, right? For perimeter, let's just back it up here a little bit. For perimeter, let's think. If I start in this corner, my perimeter is going to be the 10 plus the 7 plus the 2 plus, uh-oh. Oh, what's that side going to be? Oh my. Let's see. Well, we can think if this is 3 and this is 7, this side is going to be equal to 7 minus 3, which is 4. So this section here will be 4. Let's keep thinking here. Oh, I got some more thinking I got to do here. So this section, let's see. Well, that, whatever that is, has to add to the 2 and add to this 2, and they got a total of 10. So let's see. 10 minus 2 minus 2. 10 minus 4 gives me 6. So this section here will be 6. Over here, well, this side is the same as this side. These guys look the same here, right? It's all right angle triangles. So this side also will be 4. Okay, let's continue along. There's 2 there. And then our last side over here, it's not labeled, but I'd call that the same as that one. Again, we've got all right angles. So this would be 7 meters on this side. So that's enough. That'll give us enough to solve here, won't it? Yeah, we can totally find our perimeter. Sorry, I'm clicking on the wrong stuff. So the perimeter for this shape here, perimeter, is going to be equal to, let's start here and go around, 10 plus 7 plus 2 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4 plus 2 plus 7. Squish that in there. Add those all up, and what do we get? 42 meters. All right, so I just moved that other shape out of the way so we had enough space. So let's figure out our area. And like I said, we've got more than one way we can look at it. If we look at it as a big rectangle minus the smaller rectangle, then our side lengths would be the big one would be a 10 on the top, 7 on the side. And our little one in here that we're going to cut out, we just figured out our side lengths. And we figured out the top was 6, and we figured out the side was 4. So if I subtract those two areas, we've got it. So the area of a rectangle is just length times width. So I've got my length times my width of the big one minus the length times my width of the smaller one. So one shape minus the second shape. So that gives us a 10 times the 7 minus 6 times 4. So that means 70 minus 24, which gives me, what's that, 46 meters squared. Great, let's move on. So let's see now, ooh, that's a cool looking shape. What is that shape? Oh, there it is. It's a trapezoid. So our perimeter, again, we just add up the outsides. And our area is going to be A plus B, add those up first, times the height, all divided by 2. So let's remember that A plus B times H over 2. So we will need that for our area. A plus B times H over 2. And our perimeter, well, we just add up the outsides. And it looks like all my numbers are there. Perfect. Let's start here and move our way around. So my perimeter is going to be 14 plus 5.4 plus 9 plus 4.9. Add those all up. Let's see. 14 plus 5.4 plus 9 plus 4.9 equals 33.3 centimeters. All right, let's check out our area here. So let's remember that our A was this side length. See how that's the short side? I guess it doesn't really matter. B is the other side that's parallel to that side. So that'll be our 14. Our height is the perpendicular distance between those two parallel sides. So there's my height. And then we're done. So let's pop in our numbers. So let's see, we said this is 9 plus 14. So you got to add those together first. Times it by our height, which is our 4.5. All divided by 2. 9 plus 14 gives me 23. Times that by 4.5. All divided by 2. Let's see, 23 times 4.5. Oops. 23 times 4.5 divided by 2 gives me 51.75. And because it's an area, that's centimeters squared. All right. So then I have, oops, one more shape for us to look at. And that would be our shape. My shape doesn't want to move. There we go. And that would be this one. So this to me looks like a rectangle with a semicircle that has been cut out. So it looks like my semicircle has been cut out. Now, is there information on the diagram to help me with this? Oh, sure there is. If that's 2.1 meters, that means this is 2.1 meters. So that'll tell me on a circle, that would be my diameter. So to figure out that distance here, so the part that you would have to walk around, that part we need for a perimeter. So that means that I want half of the circumference of the circle. So because there's only half circle, I only need half, and I'm going to use the circumference of the circle to calculate it. Oh, formula sheet, can you help me out here? Sure you can. We got two different ways to calculate our circumference. Pi times our diameter, which is all the way across, and 2 times pi times r, where r is our radius. Well, we're given the diameter, so let's do our pi times d. So it's pi times d. Remember, pi is 3.14. Our diameter is the 2.1. Multiply those out, and what do we get? 3.1 times 2.1 equals, I get 6.594 meters. Okay, for our area, that looks like it's going to be the area of the rectangle minus the semicircle. That's a semicircle. No, I can't draw. Area of a rectangle, remember, is length times width. And the area of the semicircle is going to be the area of the circle divided by 2. So area of a circle is pi r squared. So that'll be pi r squared, and we're going to divide it by 2 because there's only half the circle there that we're going to cut out. Okay. Do we have numbers for these? Let's check. Length would be our 5.2, and we're going to times that by our width, which is our 2.1. Minus, see, pi is 3.14. Our radius, well, our radius is going to be half the diameter. R is equal to d over 2. And since our diameter is 2.1, well, let's see, 2.1 divided by 2 gives me 1.05 meters. So that'll be our radius. So we'll put that in here, 1.05, square it, and all divided by 2. Follow your order of operations here, people. 5.2 times 2.1 equals 10.92 minus 1.05 squared. Do that part first, please. So it becomes 3.14 times 1.025, all divided by 2, following our order of operations, right? Yep, good. So we've got 10.92 minus, let's see, times that by 3.14 divided by 2, 1.73. Final answer, 10.92 minus 1.73, 9.19 meters squared. Okay, way you go. Try the ones in your handout, and good luck. Don't be afraid to ask questions.